Coach, there are a few cities finer on a clear afternoon than this one, and we have a picture-perfect clear afternoon. Heck, you can see all the way to Mount Rainier in the distance here at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Ready, yellow waiting, kill. We own it. We own it. Check safety.
Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Brees. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a play fake. Brees. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you buy.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
3rd and long now after the sack of Brees, and the Saints up against it here.
36.
Working from the gun, it's Brees. Finding some room at midfield. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
The throw from Brees into the hands of Smith. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
The Saints spent a 3rd-round pick on Traquan Smith out of UCF in 2018, and what a thrilling season for him. He was the guy that caught the pass from Drew Brees that moved him past Peyton Manning to become the all-time leading passer in NFL history.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Brees to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Lutz with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Let's get it. Check.
Here's Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Draw play. This is Carson. Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso.
He was brought down by Kiko Alonso.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it 2nd and 7.
47 to Mike, boy, 47. Check, 47. Stay with your man. One plus. Mike, 47. Hey, watch it.
From the 36, Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there out of Kamara. 55 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On play action. Now Breeze. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Breeze going to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Now Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, It's 2nd and 21.
Check 26, check 26.
Now Wilson escapes the sack. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Check 13, check 13.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They run it for the first time to the backup Murray. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now it's Lockett. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnover. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
I'm here all day. One.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. Now Wilson, and he's got his target. That's more. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch the screen.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson flush to his right. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
On third down, Wilson able to find Waller. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 25-yard line. On first down, Carson. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Seahawks on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing is Wilson. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To the right side and complete to Washington. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
At their 49-yard line.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Kill. 53. 57. Hey, pick your game up. 57 the mic. 57 the mic. Hey, wahoo.
Here's Breeze. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Slam, slam, slam. Spot. There. Spot. No.
Operating from the gun. Wilson. He's going to fire this thing deep right side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of...
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Michael Kendricks able to record his 5th sack of the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first.
Ready. 57. We want this.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Michael Kendricks in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. To try again after the sack. Breeze. And Cook has it left side. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Michael Kendricks. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This one from 35 yards away. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw right side going to be caught by Waller. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make this a second down. Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers, and that will put them on top here in the third. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
23 yards, the final tally.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. They run with Murray and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Again, it's Murray. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
No gain on the play. Brings up third down.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down.
5-9. Over.
Shotgun now for Breeze. And Gibbs got it. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. They run with Washington. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And Lutz puts this one through. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
At their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now it's Carson.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
47. Mike, 47. It's been a long day for you. Check. Hey, easy. Check. Touch 50. Hey, alert.
To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. Give him 6 on the play, and it's a second down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 36.
And that's good for another Seahawks. First and 10 at the 36.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a first and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Hey, 0-0-0.
They run again with Carson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, first down.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf in the final minute. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead is up to 5. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Here's second and 10 now from the 35.
Cut. Right there, 54, right there, 54 miles. Come on.
Now Breeze. And complete right side to Cook. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 15 yards on the play, first down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. Second and 3. Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's first and 10. Into the red zone, it's Breeze. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Go!
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'd be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Saints, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sport. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.